Courage is pushing through your fears. Mycyl, Roden. I believe that you can do whatever you put your mind to, but it might take time. I believe that courage doesn't come naturally to many. It is not the absence of fear either, but it is the act of facing fear head on. I grew up in the jungle in the Philippines where there were no nearby neighbors and selling our farm goods was our source of income. Our community was a good walking distance from our home. Growing up as a timid kid, courage is not something that comes easy to me. I never made eye contact with people, and I didn't even like the thought of being looked at. My older sister was my mother's only go-to person when she needed errands to be taken care of, while I just stayed either at my mother's side or at home feeling useless. I wanted to be useful and dependable, but my shyness and fear prevented me from doing so. I knew that it frustrated my mother and it frustrated me too. I envied my sister for being a dependable child to our parents. I would wish that I also had that kind of personality. The first step of courage I ever took was when my mother fell sick. My sister and I had to sell our farm goods ourselves. Even before we got to the marketplace, I could feel my heart beating fast. My nervousness skyrocketed as we got closer. I felt like my nerves were shaking and I felt like crying. Unlike me, my sister looked excited, unlike she was having fun. I wanted to go back home, but I also wanted to get our products sold. I knew my mother would understand if we couldn't sell everything. There was a debate going on in my head at the time. You could imagine the two of me debating with each other. One would say, "If others can, why can't you?" And the other one would say, "I want to, but I can't. I am scared." I felt like there was another version of me that was trapped inside. The person I wanted to be. I just needed to overcome my fear and shyness because it kills me inside. So, I decided to give it a try. I observed how my sister communicated to customers, and then I built up the courage to do the exact thing she did. I took a deep breath, I smiled, and I told myself in silence, "You can do this." I was ignored on my first attempt. I felt embarrassed that I wanted to be swallowed by the ground. The second time was a success. We sold some of our products. Though nervous, I felt happy. At that moment, I felt useful that I accomplished something. Though I got rejected more than once, my heart was filled with joy. That experience put me into a realization that though it may take time, there is a possibility that I could fully overcome my fear and be the person I want to be.